Hi again, everyone. I am Sarah Honey, and I'll be covering a topic under the Project Monitoring and Control section of Project Management, and it is managing scope creep. So what is scope creep? Scope creep, also known as gold plating, happens when your customer requests extra features or adds requirements to an already negotiated contract with a set scope. This can expand your project beyond its original intent, inflating your expenses and potentially putting your project at risk of falling short or failing altogether. So the contract has been negotiated and accepted, the project planning has been completed, and the project is in full swing. Then the customer asks for something that is outside of the contract. So what do? Here are a few questions that'll help to answer that. When does scope creep happen? At any time. The likelihood of scope creep may depend on the type of contract. Let's consider a cost-plus and a fixed-price contract. A cost-plus contract is an agreement to pay the supplier a negotiated amount and also additional payment if expenses go above the negotiated amount. The nature of this contract implies that additional requirements and requests will be paid for by the customer. It implies that, but of course, there are always exceptions. A fixed price contract is an agreement to pay the supplier a negotiated amount, period. Paying for additional features is not built into this contract. Who pushes the scope? Just about anyone. It can come from the external customer, internal customers like different departments, or even your sponsor. In an attempt to please the customer, anyone on your team may push to give a little extra. It's up to the project manager to manage that. If the customer asks for more and doesn't add money to the budget, who pays for it? If your company accepts it, the money comes out of the bottom line. How can you manage scope creep while keeping the customer, your team, and the company happy? In an article published on the Project Management Institute's website called Negotiating, a Winning Skill, the author says, don't be afraid to negotiate even with your sponsors and customers. It'll help you to better set and manage expectations. My next slide will cover a few different methods you can use to manage scope. I interviewed a couple of gentlemen who are experts in their industry when it comes to writing proposals, project management, and customer relations. I'd like to start with a phrase the retired Marine Corps major and former aerospace executive told me with regards to the project lifecycle. Hunters and skinners. The hunters are the people that specialize in getting new business. They are the marketing team or senior people with a lot of experience in the industry. They spend time educating themselves about new products, reading tech magazines, attending conferences, finding out about new technology, and filtering all of this back into proposals for new projects. Once the project is awarded, the skinners are the folks that build the products that meet all of the requirements drawn up by the hunters. If your company uses the hunter and skinners method, a way to manage scope creep is to transfer one of those original hunters over to the skinners team to be a sponsor or project manager. This way, they can ensure that the team lives up to the promises made by the hunters in the original contract. We've already discussed in class that change management system is an effective tool to control scope creep, so here are a few more. Get a counterpart in the customer's organization. Develop an open and honest working relationship with your customer counterpart. It'll help you understand what their agenda is from their perspective and why they're asking for more. Know the contractors working on the same project. They may be asking the customer for something that ends up adding scope to your part of the project. If you understand why the other contractor is asking for things, you have an opportunity to discuss options that stay within scope. Offer a warranty. I work with a discipline lead for product support and logistics in the aerospace industry, and many times he has told me that the real money is in parts and service. While negotiating the original contract, include a warranty to cover any maintenance or problems that may happen for a set amount of time after delivery. Plan for obsolescence. If your project is long-term, it can be beneficial to budget in the very real possibility that technology will improve over the course of that time. This new technology could make your customer's originally intended product obsolete. Planning in that flexibility could save your customer's project. Negotiate an IDIQ contract. IDIQ means indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. This type of contract gives some flexibility to the customer, but also provides for the contractor. It gives the contractor a minimum order, then it leaves it open for the customer to make additional orders in the future, which they will pay for then. Create a demand. Preempt your customer's requests for adding capabilities by predicting potential new uses for the project you are already working on, and package that as a whole new contract. This is a perfect job for the hunters in your company. Good customer relations are extremely important if you want repeat business. A project manager needs to make the customer happy, yet not allow this to bankrupt the company. Boundaries are important to establish during the proposal phase and to maintain during the monitoring and control phase. However, you may not want to get the reputation of being a company that always says no to its customers. Sticking to the contract word for word makes sense regarding cost and schedule, but it can make a customer feel like they got a bad deal since their evolving needs aren't being met. If you show a little flexibility and commitment to customer satisfaction, they are more likely to return in the future to give your company more business. Back when I talked with the major, he told me that goodwill has value. He explained that if a contractor is willing to go the extra mile to delight the customer is more than willing to make a good deal that's good for both sides. Giving in to scope creep can take a toll on the budget and profits, but it can increase another sum of money, the award fee. The award fee is a bonus amount of money paid to the contractor at the completion of the project. A lot of the award fee is subjective and discretionary. All requirements may have been met, but if the customer is unhappy with the interaction with the contractor, the award fee is one way to convey their disappointment. A final thought on managing scope creep. The major showed me a button that his company issued to every employee at the beginning of one of their programs. It says, "No surprises." This matches up with what Dr. Maurer was explaining in the last lecture when he talked about having all team members immediately text the project manager about any important news. Not only should the project manager be kept informed, but the customer should as well. If you foresee any issues or have even discovered some bonus performance of the product, tell them. Keeping your customer informed means a lower risk of needing emergency reworks that will eat into the scope of your project. Thanks again for your time, and I hope you can all use some of these scope creep management methods to make your products or your projects successful. Thanks and good luck.